Welcome to the Dr. Erin Show. May you live your truth. Live from Los Angeles, we come together each morning to know the truth, live on spiritual principle, and align with universal law. We also come together in a community, Soulciety. We're committed to being the number one spiritual leaders community in the world, committed to enlightenment, empowerment, and entrepreneurship. We truly believe when somebody awakens, they have a gift and message to bring to the world. We are committed to enlightening 1 billion people across the planet. Yep, that's right. You heard us. So let's do this thing. Today, we are all about releasing and letting go of victimhood. JAYCEE Lee DUGARD. She said, I am so lucky and blessed for all the wonderful things I do have. Life is too short to think about all the things you don't have. So on June 10th, 1991, JAYCEE Lee DUGARD was kidnapped from her bus stop on her way to school. I'll never forget that day. The media trucks, police with dogs, and investigators were everywhere. Everything was on lockdown. And I remember the entire city of Lake Tahoe, South Lake Tahoe, kind of shut down. Everybody was sitting at their TVs, at their radios, listening to see if JAYCEE Lee DUGARD was found. 24 hours later, everyone was still waiting. They had had candlelight vigilance, and everyone was holding space and praying for her to show back up. 48 hours went by. And the police said that if a child has not been found within 48 hours, it is a grim outlook. I'll never forget that day because I was actually up at my mom's house for the summer. And my mom's house was 1 block from JAYCEE Lee DUGARD's house. And they began to tie these pink ribbons around the trees in the neighborhood. And every day when I would come and leave from my mom's house, I would see the pink ribbons. I remember a week went by, 2 weeks went by, and that summer went by and I left. And when I came back the next year, the pink ribbons were still on the trees. And I thought, what would it be like for that family to not even know what happened to their daughter? Not know if she was killed or was still alive or where she was. And I just thought, what torture that would be. And I would just think about how lucky we were to be with our family. I remember it like it was yesterday because it was so clear of that feeling of just wondering what that family was going through. 18 years later, a miracle happened. News channels across the world broadcasted live on television with a resounding shock that JAYCEE Lee DUGARD had been found. I was personally overcome with joy. I literally kind of fell back onto my sofa as I saw the news come on. Holy cow, I thought. Is it possible? 18 years later. So JAYCEE Lee DUGARD had been kidnapped and she was held captive in the backyard of a couple. She was raped and tortured and she bore 2 children without any hospitalization, anything. Her story was absolutely incredible. But what was the most incredible thing was that JAYCEE Lee DUGARD did not focus on her victimization. She reclaimed her life. I'm sure she had major help around the trauma, but she ended up getting married. She had a book that came out, and she basically would always state how blessed she was instead of what a victim she was. And the point is this, is that if we're going to step into our power, if we're going to step into becoming spiritual leaders, we have to let go of our victimhood. We have to. And so I know if JAYCEE Lee DUGARD can do it, we can do it. And so in this miracle and in this knowingness, we have to ask, how do we do that? Viktor E. Frankl from the book Man's Search for Meaning basically said the same thing. He noted that the survivors that survived the camps had a reason. They had a reason why to live. And that was the common denominator. And so I think for all of us, if we're going to overcome our victimhood, because at some level we've been victims at whatever level, maybe not to the extent of JAYCEE Lee DUGARD, but at some extent, coming from dysfunctional families or having abusive, relationships or just whatever that is. But I know that if we truly desire to awaken to our greatness, we must forgive and set ourselves free. So today, the law of the day is the law of transmutation. This is the metamorphosis of the ethereal realm into the physical reality. Energy is condensed and formed via the mind. So what is held in consciousness must transform into the material form. This is a perpetual process because energy is infinite in its expansion. What the mind focuses on informs a creative medium of the universe into action. Energy is incapable of being destroyed, therefore it will take form. Thus, it is imperative to focus on what you do want to manifest. And so if you are feeling like a victim, you have to know that the most important work you can do is doing your trauma work so that you can release the trauma, release your commands, and step into neutrality and have freedom of choice to create what you do want, so that your mind can focus on what you do want instead of constantly trying to push down those mental pictures of the trauma that happened. The most important thing you can do, because of this law of transmutation, whatever you focus on, whatever keeps coming in mind, is what's going to be energized. And so if you want to be set free, if you want to awaken, if you want to step into leadership, the role that you truly are born to be, bringing the greatest gift of all to life, you. And so in this, I know today is the opportunity to step into that. So today's daily spiritual practice is to forgive and set yourself free. The challenge is to take 10 minutes to journal. Journaling is a great way to release things, to just come to as-ising things and stop the gap of suffering. Not hoping people, places, and things in life are different than they are, but accepting them as they are. So today as you journal, asking yourself, what events and experiences do you still suffer from? What do you need to forgive? Who do you need to forgive? Do you need to forgive yourself? What do you think it would take for you to make peace with your past? Are you ready to focus on what you want to create in your life and let go of regrets, sadness, and past events? Use meditation as a key tool to begin to help you to let go and release and forgive. I'm a true advocate, of course, of trauma work, but if you don't have somebody to do trauma work, you can do meditation. You begin to ask yourself these questions and ask your higher self, what do I need to do to release these things? Who do I need to become? Where do I need to get help? And so on and so forth. I recognize that JAYCEE DUGARD, I just thank her. I've never even met her in person. And she's been with me. She's been a teacher. She's been a strength of mine. And I just think about this little girl in this backyard, little girl. I think she was 9 years old when she got kidnapped. Can you imagine being all alone? I'm wondering, how cruel could this life be? And somehow she didn't give up. Somehow the universe brought her children that weren't exactly in the best way, but they brought her children to keep her comfort and to grow with. And I just know that this little girl, her heart, she must have had such great faith, and she must live in faith right now. I know that the miracle was that she kept the faith, that she moved through those blocks, she moved through the heartache, she moved through the trauma, to know that it's the greatest gift we ever have is our attitude. Is the attitude to know and perceive the greatness of everything, no matter what, knowing that life is working for us, not against us, at whatever level. And I know her soul must be so advanced, that she must be so advanced to have chosen at a soul level to take that on, to prove to life, to prove to her parents, to prove to everyone that she can prevail in the face of anything. So today, I just send blessings to everyone, including myself, as we go into a prayer right now. So just taking a deep breath in through the nose, exhaling out through the mouth, inhaling again through the nose, suspending the breath and pulling the energy up to the third eye, connecting the right and left hemisphere, and exhaling out through the mouth. Inhaling one last time. And exhaling out. I recognize right now and right here the power that you are. The power of choice, the power of free will, knowing that your will is God's will. That you can release whatever has happened to you. That what happened belongs in your past, not in the present. That as you step fully into this present moment, that you know the power that be, the choice, that will, the perseverance of the truth. I recognize today the release of all victimhood. knowing that victims just have the commitment to find the next person to blame, and you are not that. You are a powerful, divine, spiritual being stepping into your spiritual leadership. I know grace, I know power, I know passion, I know purpose. I know you are the greatest product, your highest consciousness, the cosmic consciousness, the Christ consciousness, the Buddha consciousness, and all the above. I recognize right here and right now that you are the source that has created this entire universe. It is your destiny to know your greatness. It is your destiny, whatever you desire in mind, whatever you truly desire in your heart is done. As you step into inspired action, as you step into the greatest community you could find, as you step into doing your inner work, I simply know this as together we say, and so it is. May you have the best day ever, and may you live your truth. Thanks again for tuning in to Dr. Erin and Soul Society podcast. I'd like to invite you to write a review on iTunes. Also, I have a free gift for you, a money meditation and worksheet, which you can find at soulciety.com. That's www.soulciete.com. Or 30 guided meditations at drerin.tv. That's www.drerin.tv. We also hold monthly Soul Society events that are all about transformation and building extraordinary community. You can also watch me live daily on goodmorninglalaland.com or Instagram at drerin.tv. Grab your free manifestation masterclass with the purchase of my international best-selling book, Awakening, a 40-day guide to unleashing your spiritual powers, life purpose, and manifesting your dreams at erinfallhaskell.com/awakening book.